Hey you guys, it's me. I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be a little bit different and I'm so excited. So today's video is actually going to be my first time doing a video essay. Hard-hitting journalism. I'm just playing. No. Seriously, this is going to be a very casual video essay. I will be linking my sources down below in my description box, so if there's any information from this video, you're going to be able to find it in the description box. And yeah, I kind of just finished writing a very loose, not even script, just for me to kind of keep things straight and together. And yeah, everything is just, I'm kind of winging it. I'm doing my best, okay? And we are in a different little nook of my home today. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on the video. I'm already getting kind of distracted. I'm sorry, guys. If you hear my dog making noise, it's because he's mad because he's in his crate, but he's been acting freaking crazy today and I couldn't leave him out, especially right now. So let's get right into this topic. I'm talking about whippets today. If you guys have ever, let's stick to the script because I'm already doing it. Okay. So listen, there are a lot of ways to get high in this world, and it's up to you if you choose to partake in them. But there are a lot of things that so many people don't do before they make that choice, which is ask themselves, what am I putting in my body? So most people will ask how certain things are going to make them feel, but they're not really going to be aware of the consequences of their long-term actions after the good feelings go away. So while scrolling TikTok and seeing more and more people doing whippets, it really made me wonder what they do in terms of how they feel, but also why they aren't safe. Because it's also like, as a kid, I remember seeing a segment on the news talking about how teens were doing whippets and how bad it is, but I don't even remember, nor do I know if they gave like a real deep explanation as to like what the problem with them is. So that's what I was exploring on my own, and what made me, just decide to make this video. So now they've been brought to my attention once again on social media, and I've never done them, so I'm trying to get some answers. And they certainly aren't the fun, colorful time they're sometimes marketed to be. Looking at you, Miami Magic. So yeah, I mean, look, the box that the Miami Magic comes in is telling me it's supposed to be a good time, but the research is not giving that it's a good time to be doing the whippets. So what are whippets, you guys? Let's talk about it. So whippets is a street term for nitrous oxide, according to WebMD, by the way, a popular party drug. Although nitrous oxide is legal, sniffing it is not. It gives a feel of euphoria when huffed, which only lasts a few minutes, so you need to keep huffing to keep the high. So there's also this from a Complex article that I'm also going to link down below. So in short, people inhale the gas, then experience a high some claim can last for several minutes, but in actuality is often merely seconds in length. While using whippets in a recreational fashion is itself considered an illegal activity, the actual products are indeed legally available. So my thoughts from that I took away immediately was, oh no, like you have to keep huffing it to maintain the high, and it's a short high. So already a no from me, because I'm not gonna say that I wasn't curious to know what they are and how they feel, and like if it's like more harmless, if it's a good time, but it's not harmless, girl. It's not harmless. Anything that you have to keep doing over and over and over and over and over to maintain a high, you should not be doing, because it's probably like you're fucking yourself up real bad. Like you gotta keep doing it so much. That's most likely probably not gonna be a good thing. Like, so yeah, you gotta keep huffing it to maintain the high, and they're not cheap either. So you gotta keep doing it. They aren't cheap. Like one thing of them for a smaller one can be like almost $30. Like no. So that's already just like, in this economy, this is not this is not your drug of choice in this economy. So what's the result of all this continued huffing? A lot of things. Let's get into it, okay? So tests were done and revealed the presence of mainly iron and zinc, but also traces of aluminum, chromium, cobalt, nickel, and lead were found. Well, that's no good. When inhaling these fun whippets, nano-sized particles can reach the deeper parts of the lungs. Fuck that. And it gets worse. Research shows that users are exposed to cyclohexyl isothiocyanate, a substance classified as a respiratory sensitizer. I learned lots of stuff. I learned lots of new stuff, okay, which I'm going to get into in a second. So the presence of zinc in the particulate matter could potentially be linked to lung lesions. Like, yes, I said lesions, no Risa Tisa, okay? So why is that bad? What is respiratory sensitization? Respiratory sensitizers or asthmagens are capable of causing irreversible allergic reactions in the respiratory system. Once an individual becomes sensitized, they will develop symptoms even when exposed to the smallest concentrations of the asthmagen. So this will cause affected individuals to experience asthma-like symptoms with difficulty breathing and wheezing, and rhinitis, which is running nose and watery eyes, and conjunctivitis, aka we all know her as pink eye. So do you still want to try these? Because I don't. I'm scared. Hold on, because there's more if you didn't think it could possibly get any worse. And I quote, "There have been cases of abuse of nitrous oxide, which is also used in medical settings, resulting in the manifestation of rehabilitation requiring physical side effects." A 22-year-old man cited from this paper from 2015, for example, admitted to using approximately 15 whippets per day after waking up one day with numbness below his knees and seeking medical attention. At the time of the paper's publication, it was noted that this individual ultimately saw gradual improvement of his symptoms, though he still requires a stick to walk. Other possible risks often cited by experts include nerve damage, interface with B12 metabolism, fainting, and varying levels of paralysis. Yeah, for a few seconds of euphoria, paralysis. Okay, and then I have some other medical side effects that I want to talk about. I really had to figure out what things were for you guys, so I'm going to kind of break away from the quotes that these big blurbs are coming from, and in parentheses I have written kind of the meanings of these things, so that's what I'm going to get into now. So, 2 patients developed sensory motor peripheral neuropathy. Sensory motor polyneuropathy is a condition that causes a decreased ability to move and feel sensation because of nerve damage. Okay, with demyelinating. A demyelinating disease refers to any disease affecting the nervous system or the myelin sheath. Does that sound familiar from high school anatomy? Where the myelin sheath surrounding the neurons is damaged. This damage disrupts the transmission of signals through the affected nerves, resulting in a decrease in their conduction ability. So, 2 patients developed sensory motor peripheral neuropathy with demyelinating features, with no clinical or imaging evidence of myelinopathy, emphasizing that not all patients develop subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord, which can also happen. The diagnosis was based upon the history of nitrous oxide use and raised levels of homocysteine and/or methylmalonic acid. All patients were treated with vitamin B12 with partial recovery, though 2 were left significantly disabled. So yeah, this can mess up your nervous system real bad, have you not being able to feel, leaving you with slight paralysis. Some people have to use a wheelchair or walking stick or cane. This could really get serious really quick when you know you're having a good time, and the next thing you know, you can't feel your hands, and that's real. So something I noticed on TikTok, there's a tag with airheads being used and also nozzing, and I am going to insert a couple TikToks in here after I get into this next part, which is kind of okay, one, the marketing behind some of these whippet brands are definitely kind of predatory. Young people want to use them. They're colorful. It's supposed to be used it's just supposed to be something that's used in the kitchen. It shouldn't have all this extra weird advertising. a Miami Magic tank. The box is like this bright turquoise blue with like film strips, and it's like palm trees and fancy cars and like people, little figures that are supposed to look like they're cool and hot, you know, Miami Magic, Miami. And it's kind of seeming like they're trying to market it to be a fun party drug when it's supposed to be used for cooking. So obviously nobody's buying these shits to make whipped cream. Like, people aren't buying them for that. As someone who has worked in a head shop before that carries these different brands of the nitrous, they're not buying them to cook with. There was a lady that came into our location who, when I was new and didn't know who she was, but like my coworkers were calling her whippet lady, and she was complaining about how she couldn't feel her hands. And I like, go to the fucking doctor. But she's not going to the doctor. She's going to get some nitrous, and she's going to keep doing it because clearly it's addictive. Like, there's people who have these serious medical problems because of using it, but it's addictive, so they're not going to stop using it. And that is just, I don't know. I feel like it's not new. It's been around. Like I said, I saw it on the news when I was a kid, and I've always known that like it was dangerous, but I didn't really know why it was dangerous. But like all the things that I've seen today during my little research, and this isn't even like an in-depth breakdown of how everything works and like why these things happen in the body. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I've seen all I need to see. I will not be having it. No whippets for me. The other thing, besides the colorful marketing and how it's like the flavors, the different flavors they have, fruit flavors, dessert flavors, like it's definitely giving like nicotine flavored vapes. But since those got banned, like right now my state Ohio has a flavor ban. Since those are banned in certain parts, now we're bringing in flavored nitrous, and those flavors are, it's the same thing. Everybody wants all the flavors, gotta try out the flavors. Definitely getting marketed to kids. And then let me see, what was my other thing in my notes here? Okay, yeah, I just have one more thing I kind of noticed was we're trying to normalize the whippets. They got all the flavors, and this reminds me of, okay, like they're trying to normalize it. I'm gonna insert the clip here, but okay, I'm gonna insert the clip here. Okay. So you see how in the clip he has his food, he has his like canes or whatever it is, and then he's got the balloon with the like nitrous in it next to it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is about to go, it's about to be so good. It's definitely reminiscent of somebody posting with like their full blizzy or something, or like, you know, having some tree or some weed or whatever, and then like them posting like all their food they're about to eat when they get fried because they're gonna have the munchies. And I don't even know if nitrous is giving people the munchies, but that's just the vibe it gave me. Like, it was like we're trying, like, it's not normal. You have a huge fucking balloon full of nitrous next to your food, and you're like, yeah, like, no, boo, that's not cute. That is not cute. I'm not saying smoking is cute. I smoke. I'm not saying it's cute, but it's not giving me nerve damage. It's not giving me brain damage. And, yeah, I got my medical card, so I don't know what you use it for, but it's certainly, nitrous is not going to be giving me any benefits, that's for sure. It's not helping with anything, unless you think that having your voice go low for like a second is helping your health, and it's not, babe. So that's pretty much all my findings. I do have another clip of someone just explaining, like a real life person, so you can see I'm not making it up, that was talking about their struggle with whippets, how they used them until they were having their own nerve damage and those issues. They had to use a wheelchair, they went to psychosis, and they're still using it. I'm going to insert all my TikTok clips that I found here. Again, all the articles and information that I found online, I am going to link down below in the description box. I definitely would like to look into this a little bit more. I'm just really curious about it now. And if you guys have any suggestions on video essay topics of things that we see in our world right now, I would absolutely love, and I'm always interested in hearing your suggestions for anything. advice, story times, video essays now. We can talk about music, you know, just leave a comment down below for your girl. I'll check it out. And yeah, this was really fun for me to record. I know it's not the longest video, but I know that in the future I will be getting the long form content out to you guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
I just saw a post, and this guy was like, when your girl is an airhead or whatever, and it was like mimicking this girl, obviously like doing whippets or whatever. So we're normalizing inhalant abuse now, because first of all, it's a trend now to be doing whippets. Like, I've never heard of nosing until now. Second of all, you guys aren't gonna think this shit's cute or fun when you can't walk, when you've got nerve damage. I have permanent nerve damage in my feet, dude, from years of using those. And then a 6-month-long psychotic episode where I used them non-stop, and then ended up not being able to, not being able to walk for 6 months, in a wheelchair, and then 2 months with a walker, and then in a wheelchair again for a week, before I could finally walk somewhat on my own. Don't let your kids do this. Don't let your friends do this. It's not cute, because you will end up with permanent nerve damage. Like, my feet are numb. I can't feel the bottoms of my feet right now. They said it was going to take like a year for me to be able to learn to walk again. Like, I'm lucky to be walking right now, and my feet are never going to feel the same. I can't go walk out in grass and feel grass on the bottom of my feet. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
This is your side.